Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be touching up a little bit on the actual touching up on background checks and clearing security clearances, and give a couple of examples of being paperwork being pushed through by accident, human error, basically human error. And just to give you a quick reference, my background check packet was about almost 2 inches thick, and each individual paper was an individual actual uh, subject. So it was very, very long and lengthy. It was very, it was just frustrating. Actually, it was actually frustrating, and it took me a couple of days to actually fill it out. To be honest, it took me a couple of days because of the fact that I had to take breaks. I couldn't focus on the actual. It was hard to focus on. Hard to focus to actually dedicate yourself to actually finish the packet. It was straining for me. So basically, what happens is you get a package and you submit it and everything, and so when that happens, especially for like my age group, 50 and above, uh, it was all manually done by handwriting. There was hardly any multiple questions on these in these packages because they wanted to see your writing. They wanted to see the actual answers. They didn't want to give you the answers, so you had to provide your own answers to all these questions. But the good thing about this, and I don't know if they exist now, but out of every actual question you have to actually submit truthfully at each at the end of each actual packet before you sign, there's a clause in there that says that if you, to the best of your knowledge, and then blank, blank, blank. So that gave you a little safety net to fall back into. And if they were to say, well, and you contradict yourself here, then you had yourself a way to rebound and correct the actual question or the answers you've given. So that was helpful. I've seen applications where that was not available, and that would actually disqualify you from that application. Which I thought was kind of hard because we all are human errors, right? So, and in other situations where people's answers got overlooked or were just pushed through on their backgrounds, and no one caught that, but yet years later they get caught, and that happened a lot. And somebody can say, how does that happen? This is a government. What's the government? Especially the government. You know what I mean? Uh, just like everybody in their jobs, we don't show up to work all every day willing to work. We could all agree, right? So okay, so as our team started getting a little bit bigger and bigger, well, everybody had the options to just apply to different agencies, and the support was there widely, right? So uh, our team traveled a lot, so it was hard for you to have a family, and if you wanted to settle down, that team was not for you because you would be bounced back and forth at a minute's notice. You had to be anywhere for support. From my actual travels was when the Missouri River overflowed in '93, summer of '93, and then the Northridge earthquakes early '94. I was assigned to support FEMA, so you had to pick up and go at a moment's notice. So basically, you had to have your traveling bag ready to go. There was no, we're going to go tomorrow. We're going to go. No, we're going to go in a few hours. They give you the set time, what airport you need to show up to, and what your task was going to be. So you had to be flexible on that side of the job description. So as we started going through the late 80s and early 90s, we started noticing these And I can't say they were kids either. It could have been any age group that were actually programmers or hackers. They were basically they were able to hack, computers, and they still needed to go through the process. They still needed to go into a team. Well, they were actually placed in an agency because every agency was in need of these individuals, and they were a trip. They would talk about spells, potions, dragons. When Dungeons and Dragons was, I don't really understand that game, but probably you guys can relate to it. But they would just start talking. Oh, I got this potion, blah blah, and I was just like, "What are you guys?" And getting in my mind, what are you guys talking about? But I was just ear hustling, just to see what's up. As a matter of fact, I'll do a video on one individual time where. Well, we'll get into it when I get to that video, but it was actually on the darker side of the web. You know what I mean? And so um, they started branching out into different agencies, but you have to apply just like if you were coming off the streets, right? So it didn't matter if you were already employed by the Department of Justice. If you wanted to go to Border Patrol, Customs, any kind of intel agency, you still had to apply like everybody else. You had to pass your test just like anybody else. But if you had help, if you knew people in a certain station and you wanted to go to that station, you were almost guaranteed you were going to get placed on that at that station because they already knew you, how you worked, and so they already had a feel for you. So if they accepted you, they more than help you to actually to set up shop for you there, and just permanently stay at that station. So I'm gonna break down into two videos. That way, we don't drag out a 20-minute video. So this is going to be part one, and part two I'm going to do right now. It's going to be some examples of how that can actually go bad for you. Okay? See you guys soon.